Hey sports fans, Coach Nick here, and welcome to B-Ball Breakdown. Please excuse my voice. I got 2 more games tomorrow and Saturday, and then I'm off for a while. I promise I will get my voice back as soon as possible. I was going through the Portland Trail Blazers versus Indiana Pacers from last night. I was going to do a whole breakdown, make it really cool, but guess what? My screen got hijacked by a player that did so well at such an early age that I had to just focus on him. And that is the Blazers point guard, Damian Lillard. For a rookie, the guy is polished, has a complete game, is under control, all the things I don't see from a lot of young point guards these days. And so I'm going to focus on him and what he does very well, because I'm going to compare him to somebody who is a really great point guard later on in the breakdown. So I want to prepare you, because I think he's in that realm of being one of the next great point guards of all time. Let's look at how the Blazers offense breaks down. The best thing they do is pick and roll ball handler, which naturally means Damian Lillard is getting featured the most, and he is ranked individually in the 80th percentile. Very impressive for a rookie. What makes him so dangerous in the pick and roll is that he has a lethal jump shot, and if you try and go underneath the screen or are slow, he is going to nail that long 2 in your face. But it doesn't stop there. He can get behind the three-point line where he's shooting 38% for the season, and here's where it gets scary. His true shooting percentage is .562. Steve Nash for his career is .605, so he's in that Steve Nash range as a rookie. He doesn't always settle either. He can get into the lane and knows how to use his body to protect the ball and finish in traffic. He's not among the league leaders in free throw percentage. Those guys are way above him, but he's getting better at this and getting a lot of free throws. And as he improves at that, he'll probably reduce the number of threes he takes out of the pick and roll, making him a more effective player and making those threes he does take better shots. Now, let's look at isolation, where he's basically propping up the Portland Trail Blazers by being in the 90th percentile, while the team itself is only in the 15th, very average. The guy is such a polished player coming out of college after 4 years, and he's got a variety of moves and step backs with a beautiful jump shot. And here, when the shot clock winds down, he'll get better at this with more experience. He can get to the hoop because he's very explosive and has beautiful touch on these runners. Next up, let's look at transition, where the team is doing well, but he isn't. And I think this is simply a matter of small sample size, because from what I see, he has the perfect makeup for being a transition point guard. He's explosive, he makes great decisions, and he can finish at the rim. He does love the transition 3 a little too much. 25% of his transition possessions are threes, and he's shooting very poorly at 25% on those. And the problem with that is they often lead to easy buckets by the other team, and that will have to change if they want to improve that transition ranking. Next up, let's look at spot up, where Damian Lillard is doing incredibly for a rookie, ranked 94th percentile on a variety of step backs and long 2s and 3s. His adjusted field goal percentage is staggering. The only thing is he's only spotting up 10.2% of the time. He should do this more. And I'll show this whole clip to give you an example of how in control he is at all times. He doesn't try and force anything. He calls out a pick and roll, nice little over the head pass, and as the guy needs help, he can come back and just spot up and nail that shot. So many young guards are very bad at the shot fake, one dribble pull up, but look at how smooth he is and perfect on that release. Now, let's look at how he helps the team with his passing. He has a very good 6.3 assists per game, and his points per possession plus assists, which measures when he gets either a score or an assist in a possession, is 85th percentile, extremely high. His 2-to-1 assist to turnover ratio is very good, and I have no doubt by the end of the season he'll have less than 3 turnovers per game. It's the simple passes that he's so good at. Hitting the guy on the numbers when he's ready is a lost art. And the Blazers are doing a nice job putting him in position to make the right decision every time, and look at that beautiful pass. He never tries to do too much, and even this nice little bounce pass, which you never see anymore, right to the shooter for a bucket. It's hard to believe this kid's a rookie because he's so polished and calm out there. The slightest head fake gets 2 guys to run, and it's a perfect pass again. He's got incredible feel for the game. Watch how Paul George is going to step over just a little bit to help, and it's almost like he sees it before it happens. And that pass is perfect timing, perfect position, making it easy for West to knock that shot down. Here's where it's hard to trust defensive stats because right now he's 36th percentile overall. But what I see out there is a guy who hustles, has a lot of energy, is always in the right position, and eventually that's going to have to make this thing go up or we have to ignore it. Watch how he can use his really great quickness to get around that screen and roll and cause a lot of havoc for the offensive team. They're getting a steal. Here's an example of where he lets the guy drive middle, which is not good at positional defense, but he doesn't give up, and he's strong enough to take that bump and not get a call, and the guy misses. He's great at defending the spot-up shooter because he's got a wingspan of 6'8", so when you close out, it's a real tough shot. And Portland is using this 1-2-2 zone with him on top, which is perfect for him because he can use his wonderful feel for the game to know when to come over and help and get in position to stop, and with those long arms, he can make it really hard on the offense. Defense is so much about effort, and here he never gives up and makes George Hill take a really tough contested step back three, and that's going to wear you down after a while, even if it goes in. We saw in our last breakdown how Chris Duhon was out of control, flying all over the place, leaving his feet. Well, watch how Damian Lillard stays home, plays the right position, and closes out again to force a miss. And he's also good on the ball defense and will get better. Watch how Augustine can't get by him. He rides him out of the middle, and when he puts his hand up, it's a tough, tough shot. So there you have it, sports fans. The point guard position, in my opinion, is the one thing that hasn't changed much in all these years. Because they talk about all sorts of things with point forward and how all the positions have changed. And I'm not going to argue with a lot of that because certainly now power forwards shoot threes and they handle the ball. But there's always been a need for that point guard that can get your team into its set, can get them a good shot when they need it. And if they need to take the shot, they will. And they always make the right decision. So a guy like Chris Paul is the model for that. And this guy, Damian Lillard, to me is a more explosive version of that, or even like Steve Nash, because the guy can pass. He's got a polished spot-up game. He's got it all. And it's only a matter of time as he gets more adjusted that his defense will improve even more. And it's going to be a guy you're going to like to watch. I'm certainly going to love to watch this guy as he progresses through his career. So stay tuned for our Monday night. We're going to do our Effin' Fantasy show Monday night. So don't miss that. And don't forget, at B-Ball Breakdown, it's a channel, not a conversation. You win?